Hello, team. Welcome to the channel. Good to see everybody tonight. Let's get the audio checked. Check that mic. Looking good on my end. Give me a big thumbs up if it looks good on your guys' end. Looking strong here. We're going to do a poll here in a little bit on what video you guys want to see tomorrow. But as always, not much going on. Not a lot to cover tonight, right? The world's pretty calm and quiet. Nothing going on. Yeah, it's just another day. All right, so speaking of that, I wanted to show you this. This video just popped up on my X feed, and I thought it would be fun. So let's give it a shot from a little bit ago. We all remember this. Come on. Who remembers that one? Anybody remember that? All right, so here we go. It's an F-18. I think it's in Spain. And coming in hot, baby. Supposedly dodging birds was what people said, but I don't know if I buy it. If you try to dodge a bird in a fighter jet, oh yeah, a whole bunch of the birds dive down. Like, see that? See all these birds diving down right here? But at this point, it's like, might as well. So he's gonna have maybe it's like a delayed reaction to the birds. Actually, that could be what it is. And you never go down for the birds. Because plus birds are going to tuck and dive. Oof. Wow. That's amazing that he saved it. And you can't punch out right there. Like if he punched out right here, if he's getting low, like he's like going in and he punches out, it just goes right into the crowd. So that just shows how good the Hornet is. Like the Hornet is such a good jet. That's exactly why that did not end in disaster. Woo! Okay, anyway, that just popped up. Little throwback. That was from a while ago, long time ago. But let's see if there's any updated info on the F-35B crash. I heard the pilot made it out. So thank God for that. Aerial footage captures the F-35. Yeah. So all's well that ends well as far as the pilot getting out. That's the number one thing. So the fact the pilot's out can replace the metal. No big deal. So let's see if there's any context as to what happened. Aerial footage captured by Fox 5 San Diego shows the burned out smoldering wreckage of a U.S. Marine Corps F-35B that crashed earlier at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in Southern California. So let's check here. Additional footage shows firefighters battling the blaze at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in San Diego, California, following the crash of a Marine Corps F-35B Lightning II. Yeah, the F-35Bs have seemed to have a little more complexity because you got that big rotating engine, right? So, you got the big rotating engine, like it's gonna cause some complexity issues, right? And then the Marines said U.S. emergency personnel responded to an F-35B aircraft mishap on MCAS Miramar at 10 a.m. PST. The pilot ejected, was transported to a local medical facility in stable condition for evaluation and treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. That's great. That is awesome. All right. Number one thing there, this is kind of interesting too, seeing the back end of the jet. Yeah, so it looks like the vertical landing and the vertical landing short field takeoff door is open right here. So just from what I'm seeing, just assumptions wise, this engine here in the back was probably in the landing phase, maybe a short field takeoff phase. But the fact that that's still popped up like that makes me think there's a phase of flight, kind of like what we've seen before with some of the F-35s. I might do a full video on this tomorrow, actually. As we kind of go through the breaking news today, guys, we'll gather some ideas on what you guys want to see me go into more tomorrow. But this could be the video that happens tomorrow, just a full breakdown of what I know, what the initial reports are. And this has happened before. There's been F-35Bs, unfortunately. I mean, super cool jet, don't get me wrong, but hey, when you try to build a vertically flying fighter jet, yeah, there could be the potential that something could not exactly line up. So it's kind of like they're defeating physics every time that they fly in this jet anyway. So it's going to happen, right? So the big thing is learn from it. What was the main factor? Was it some sort of mechanical issue? Was there some sort of flight control issue or something like that? Here's some more footage of it. Yeah, that must have been after, like, just after it happened. Wow. Kind of looks weird. I was looking at this image here. I don't really see much of a F-35 make out there, but just maybe it's the lighting, the way that it's angled, or it could be the foam. So they might be spraying foam on it instead of water. So yeah, that might be what it is the foam. Wow. That's my idea of a foam party, because the pilot made it out. We can all party because the pilot made it out. So rock on in that regard. Oh, wow, that's a crazy view of that. Watch, Iran's going to be like, we downed a fighter jet. We also hacked into the Minnesota municipal water supplies, and we also hacked into a fighter jet. That's going to be what the IRGC is going to say tomorrow. They're like, yeah, we hacked into it. We tried to fly it. We're not really good at flying. And so, yeah, we ended up crashing. Sorry about that. I'm just waiting for them to use this in their next AI video. That's a lot of fire, though. Man, for that big of an area just to be covered in fire. And the jet didn't even look like it was that burned out. Like, well, never mind. Okay, actually it does. Okay, I might have been wrong on that one. Yeah. In this footage right here, it looks like a piece of ash, pretty much. But there's that door. See that? We got to figure out what the name of that door is. You guys probably know what it's called. So what's the name of the door that opens on the F-35 in vertical mode? Vertical mode. Just so cool that we have a 5th generation fighter jet with vertical mode. Okay, it's the Stovall variant. We all know that. The short takeoff. That means it can't take off vertically fully. It takes off short field. And then vertical landing, it just comes down like that. And it's called the upper lift fan door, accompanied by the lower lift fan doors and an auxiliary air inlet. So that's the upper lift fan door. So that's what we're all seeing right now. Upper lift fan door being up where it is. Not surprising that that's what happened, right? Not surprising. All right, so we're going to get into some breaking news now. We'll go into basically what's going on in the Iran theater, around the globe. Lots of big things happening right now. So let's just dive in. Initial reports. Oh, this is on the same thing. Let's see if there's any other reports on Iran, on etc., on what's going on in Ukraine, possibly. Looks like C-17 Globemaster has completed the 14th known medical evacuation mission associated with Operation Epic Fury and the second medevac mission this week. So, okay, interesting. And then Central Command. Let's go to Central Command, see what's going on here. U.S. Navy MH-60R Seahawk helicopter is prepared for flight aboard the USS Michael Murphy, DDG-112, as the warship supports the U.S. blockade against Iran while sailing in regional waters. As of July 31st, CENTCOM has redirected 30 commercial vessels, disabled 2, and boarded 2 to ensure full compliance. U.S. military has also permitted nearly 30 ships to pass through the blockade for humanitarian aid. And then a fact check. I love these fact checks. You got to just hit them with facts. Claim. Once again, the Iranian government claims it has closed the Strait of Hormuz. This is false. Fact. The Strait of Hormuz remains open for commercial vessel transit. Iran does not control it. Thousands of ships have sailed through the international waterway over the last 4 months. Just a little reminder, just a little friendly reminder to Iran. Yeah, you don't own it. And then we got U.S. Army paratroopers fire a 155 millimeter round from an M777 howitzer during a field artillery exercise in the Middle East. Let's look at this thing. Pretty cool. They got this little pop-up cover and shelter to get some shade. I mean, basically, you get anything you can get at that point if you're out in the middle of the desert like that. But that is freaking cool. I mean, that is awesome. Wow. Great stuff. I mean, what a complex artillery piece too. And they're, this is what they do. This looks like a little Gatling gun right there. Is that a Gatling gun? I think so. And then some electro-optical sensors. Wow, what a cool piece of equipment. Can I get one of these, Army? Army, if you're listening, can you guys just put one of these in my front yard? It can even be decommissioned. I'm good with that. I mean, if it was working, that'd be even cooler. Then if I have an argument with the neighbors about my driveway being too not with codes or the HOA, does it reach the HOA? Can I reach the HOA since they don't like my driveway apparently? I don't know. I mean, it's actually the guy that has all the guy in the neighborhood who never cuts his grass. There's weeds everywhere. The howitzer here could just like vaporize the lawn, and just help him out. We're just helping you out. We're using IRGC logic. This is for you. This is for your safety. U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon approaches a U.S. Air Force KC-135 stratotanker for refueling while patrolling the Middle East. The P-8 is a specialized reconnaissance aircraft that is among the many assets monitoring regional waters. During America's blockade against Iran, as of July 30th, CENTCOM forces have redirected 24 commercial vessels, disabled 2, boarded 2 to ensure full compliance. The cool thing about the P-8 is it's a 737 platform that's been completely modded and redesigned. And man, I'm telling you guys, the fact that they refuel in these large aircraft like this, I mean, it's a super impressive thing that they do here. Because I'm assuming, they're going to have some radar, it could be a TACAN, just showing, how far away you are from the other aircraft. But when you don't have like a really big radar to find the tanker in front of you, makes it even more challenging. So very cool that they're doing this type of refueling mission. I mean, hats off to the P-8 teams that are flying this. This is not an easy mission. Even just the refueling, like refueling in a fighter jet could be stressful. So a P-8 doing its thing, I mean, damn, that is just really cool. Oh yeah, we listened to this yesterday, but I'll just play it for you guys again if you missed yesterday. I was with JT yesterday on the live.
You are ordered to go. You are running danger. You are running danger. Don't put your life in danger. To maintain the health and safety of the ship and crew, you are ordered to go back to your departure immediately. If you disobey, you will be targeted and destroyed definitely. This is the Navy out.
So they don't really have a Navy, like JT said yesterday, but they have mosquito fleets. They have those little small fast attack craft. The thing is, though, they're trying to seem like they're legitimately in control of the international waterway, which just isn't how the world works. Like, you can't just control an international waterway. Like, that's not how the world works. So the fact that they've gotten away with it for so long, that's why they're acting like, oh, we're the SEPA Navy. Yeah, we are this official naval force, and we're allowed to extort you. We're allowed to be little mafia bosses. Yay. That's kind of that's just the kind of, it's the guys you're dealing with that just insane that they think they still control the international waterway. So let's go to some more breaking news. We know that the most recent round of strikes looks to have been completed on July 29th. We'll just look at those. Why not? The 29th ones. F-18, obviously. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go, baby, go. The F-18's nice. Radar truck. Lots of different control trucks being hit, so that's probably becoming their mobile command posts. And then that just looked like some sort of, it could be an ammo dump, but actually no, not an ammo dump. I'd say that's more of like a safe house, IRGC headquarters, that kind of thing. And then you got the boats. Yeah, so that's their Navy now. Their Navy are those little boats, and then the big hole, that's their ballistic missile launch tubes. They put a ballistic missile in it, raise it up, fire it out. We'll go look at the imagery here in a second and look into those. But yeah, that's a radar truck going bye-bye. That's the technical term. Yeah, the technical term is see ya. That is technically speaking, see ya. That's the technical term. Okay, so big picture, let's think about breaking news here today. Overall, we're looking at blockade still in effect. We know that's what's happening there. Let's see what we've got for breaking news in military tech. Military tech? Sounds kind of cool. Let's check it out. All right, so this is War Radar. Yep. What is this? Just in, the superpower race is over. Russian strategic think tank admits the U.S. has pulled too far ahead. A report assessment says post-Soviet Russia can no longer match the United States economically, technologically, or militarily. Yeah, we could have told you that, Russia. It reportedly points to America's massive economic advantage, leadership in advanced technologies, and military edge with the F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning II, B-2 Spirit, and the next generation B-21 Raider. If authentic, the assessment would mark one of the strongest reported acknowledgments from Russia's strategic community that Moscow is no longer able to compete with the United States on equal terms. And a lot of that's economic. Let's see it. Okay, so this is a Russian intercept. So Russian Defense Ministry released this July 25th. Footage that said it shows Russian and Chinese military planes conducting joint patrols near Alaska. Oh, is that... Wait, these look like... No, this is U.S. aircraft that are intercepting it. So you got an F-16, F-35, and an F-18. This is an F-16 up here. So North American says intercepted Russian and Chinese aircraft on Wednesday. Okay, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. They got an F-18 up there too. The North American Aerospace Defense is like, let's just send up everything. Like, we're not playing around anymore. Super Hornet, that looks good. Yeah, good looking jets. U.S. officials said it's the first time strategic bombers from the two U.S. adversaries have operated together near North America. But the strategic bombers weren't operating together. Oh, it was China's and Russia's. Okay. U.S. officials said it's the first time strategic bombers from the two U.S. adversaries have operated together near North America. Okay. I got you. So that's a Chinese one right there. I think it's called an H-8, like a copy of the B-1, but I don't think its wings are variable. I think its wings are in a fixed location, as far as I know. But what was that on the wingtip? Let's look at that. See this on the wing, probably some sort of a sensor. I wouldn't think that that would be any type of refueling probe. I would say just some sort of a sensor. And then you got like a Su-30, good looking jet. Su-30s are great looking aircraft. Russian and Chinese planes didn't enter U.S. or Canadian airspace and weren't seen as a military threat, NORAD said. There it is. That one, that's the Bear bomber. See the counter-rotating props? Counter-rotating props. Wow. Imagine refueling. That is pretty sick. I would not want to refuel in this thing, but they're like, just get in there. Wow. With all those propellers right there and just, trying to get it. I mean, it's probably a pretty stable aircraft to fly, but that is impressive. Oof. Yeah. No, thank you. Just in, North Korea erupts over expanding U.S. military alliance in Asia. Pyongyang has accused the United States of escalating regional tension, saying Washington's expanding military command in Japan and closer defense coordination with Japan and South Korea are increasing the risk of conflict on the peninsula. Well, basically, Korea thinks everybody's increasing the conflict everywhere because they're paranoid. North Korea argues the growing U.S.-led security partnerships reinforce its position that maintaining a nuclear deterrent is necessary. The exchange marks the latest escalation in the long-running standoff as military cooperation among the U.S. and its allies continues to deepen amid North Korea's missile and nuclear programs.
States of America, there's one thing
That's very well said. And they got the Buckley F-16s. Wow, AIM-9X looks like over there. Sweet. AIM-120s. Love it. Got the carrier strike group with an HH-60. Let's go. Harm, look like a harm shooter there. So likely surface to air radars going bye-bye. And there it is, carrier strike group. So big moves happening. Just in, Iran orders IRGC trainers out of Iraq after deadly Saudi-US strikes, fearing more attacks. Oh, interesting. So they got their...
Among them are 300.
Let's see what this, let's listen to this.
Saudi Arabia's Air Force is considered one of the most powerful air forces in the Middle East. The Royal Saudi Air Force operates approximately 917 military aircraft. Among them are 364 combat aircraft, including 211 F-15
Wow, they've got 200 F-15s.
Eagles, 72
And that's the F-15s SA,
Eurofighter Typhoons, and 81 Tornado strike jets. For airborne surveillance, Saudi Arabia operates 7 AWACS aircraft. It also has around 202 trainer aircraft as part of its fleet. To sustain air operations for extended periods, the Royal Saudi Air Force also operates 22 aerial refueling tankers and 57 transport aircraft.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know they had that big of a indigenous refueling platform.
This combination of advanced aircraft and support assets has made the Royal Saudi Air Force one of the leading air powers in the Middle East.
Nice, yeah. Saudi doing work in Iraq. If you guys didn't hear that story, so Saudi Arabia actually helped the U.S. strike militias, Iranian militias in Iraq. So pretty epic there. Let me see how the chat's going. How's everybody doing? Greg, Stuck, Tommy, PC, Josh, BC, Spudnik. We got Spudnik, Pierce, Fight. Is it Pierce Morgan? Did Pierce Morgan just pop into my chat? Tane. I'm just going to call you Tane. I see what you did there, though. That's a funny name. Tommy, Ali, Steven. Glad everybody's in the house tonight. Thanks to Diamond for being the producer as well. Keeping the chat flowing. So yeah, we got a little bit of breaking news updates going on. And this one was the Saudi, I guess they have the Typhoon and the F-15 SA, which is sweet. This one's kind of cool too. U.S. begins biggest undersea power expansion in decades. U.S. has approved a $76 billion submarine deal to build 14 advanced nuclear-powered submarines, 9 Virginia-class attack subs, 5 Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines. The message is clear. Washington is investing heavily to maintain its undersea advantage as the rivalry with China and Russia enter a new era. The silent battle beneath the waves is accelerating. Well, let's take a look at this. Oh, cool. These shipyards are incredible to me. Honestly, just the way all this is built is really incredible. I mean, the amount of people it takes, and you're building something that goes under and gets pressurized. Wow, that is huge. That's a huge submarine. Wow. Incredible. Yeah, seeing the way that this thing gets built, I mean, who's ever building this thing, hats off to you. This is incredible. Do they dunk it in? Do we see a dunking? Do we get to see the first splashing of this thing? Because that'd be pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Okay. I see what you did there. It's really cool too how subs float, like how they expand. They have those expansion tanks that help it float when it wants to float. At least, you know, the top of it float, and it stays in the exact right position. Would you guys rather be on a submarine or a carrier? I'm curious. I kind of like the idea of being not on the waves all the time, because if you're up on the, you know, you're on a ship, it's going to be bumpy. But when you're on a submarine, oh, nice. They got the nuclear porta potty. Look at that. The nuclear porta potty. I mean, it's important while you're doing maintenance on it. You're going to want to use the restroom, but it's kind of funny. They're like, the only bombs dropped here are done right here in this gray huts. No other bombs will be dropped here. Who would have known a submarine would have some bombs dropped on it? Just not the kind of bombs that the enemy would like. This is just bombs from contractors. Got to do what you got to do. all the tugboats around it, pulling it in. That's pretty awesome. Nice. Newport News Shipbuilding. Cheers to you. Cheers to you all. A division of HII. That's awesome. Oh, this is cool. America's next nuclear giant is coming. The U.S. approved a $30 billion, $29.5 billion contract for 5 Columbia-class ballistic missile subs. Yep, we knew that. Yeah, that is awesome. Oh, this just in. Turkey could turn to China's J-35 if the U.S. keeps the F-35 off the table. Ankara is reportedly considering acquiring Chinese J-35 fifth-generation stealth fighters if Washington refuses to approve the sale of the F-35. Reports also claim the deal could be settled in Chinese yuan instead of U.S. dollars, a potential geopolitical shift with major defense implications if confirmed. So, I wonder why China called it the J-35. Is it because it looks exactly like the F-35? I mean, I just think it's hilarious at this point. They're not even being subtle. At this point, they're like, yeah, we're just going to exactly copy it, and then we're going to call it the J-35, and that makes it different. I mean, it does have 2 engines compared to the 1 engine. Personally, when people have asked me what I think about the 2 engines, I mean, I think a lot of that's because it doesn't have the reliability of Western aircraft. So if you don't have the reliability of the single engine, then build the 2 engine factor. Because if they built these with 1 engine, they'd probably lose a lot of them, and that's not what they want to have happen. But to me, it kind of looks like the love child between an F-35 and an F-15C, because like the older engine look on the back just makes it, to me, it just makes it look like it's not a true 5th generation jet. I mean, these are going to really stand out, these engines back here. So yeah, how stealthy is it? I would just say remains to be seen. And then as far as Turkey, like what Turkey could be doing, yeah, of course, Turkey wants the F-35. That's obvious. They would love to have the F-35. But when it comes to the focus of security of the F-35 versus having it with a country that has the S-400, might not be the best idea to have an F-35 right next to a squadron that has S-400s from Russia, right? Just an idea. And I think that's why it's kind of been held back a little bit. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see how that works out. 5 Iranian IRGC personnel were killed in Saudi-U.S. airstrikes targeting Iran-backed Iran-backed groups inside Iraq. Oh, wow. Well, why are they? Oh, so, I mean, it's like the IRGC is complaining, but you have your IRGC in with militias that are terrorist organizations in Iraq. Like, bro, the gaslighting, please. This says America's Patriot arsenal has been cut by 2/3. Estimates suggest that it is running low. America's defense stockpiles are under growing pressure. Well, yeah, I mean,
radar scans the...
they're under pressure because we're obviously at war, but anytime you go to war, they're going to be under pressure. But at the end of the day, it looks like there is a new contract that could go to Ukraine so that Ukraine could build their own Patriot batteries and Patriot missiles under contract from Lockheed Martin. So if that's the case, then that's going to be huge, where it could free up a lot of the demand coming from the U.S. being used in the Middle East. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Iran's going to just come to the table and stop doing this here pretty soon? Or do you think that this conflict's just going to keep going and going? Like that would determine what goes on as well, right? If the conflict's just going to keep going and going, well, okay. I guess maybe we are a little bit lower for now, but it'll be rebuilt. So I think the plan I saw by 2030, I think they wanted to build 2,000 Patriots a year. So yeah, that would take care of that shortage very, very quick. All right, let's see if we can get any Iran breaking news. See if there's any new footage. Iran breaking news. President Trump convenes cabinet meeting as Iran war widens. The Pentagon is confronting a growing reality after months of fighting. yeah, I mean, it's been 5 months. What's been going down to the IRGC? You know, I saw President Trump in a speech today. He said, you know, we're going to do much more than we thought we were going to do. So much more than we thought we were going to do means like massive strikes across the country that we've seen. And that's, you know, Iran had the chance to make a deal, and they just decided not to. So let's see what this says. The Iranian Navy once again attempted to project its power in the Strait of Hormuz. Reports indicate that 2 U.S. fighter jets attacked and destroyed an Iranian vessel. A warning has been issued stating that if such an incident recurs, there will be more severe action taken against Iran. So, not sure on that. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. See this in a little larger. Wow, that is a massive explosion, though. But we don't know exactly where it was from. You know, that was just coming from that one X account. So we don't know if that's actually what's going on, but we're gonna do our best to find out. All right. Pete Hegseth vows flyovers until morale improves and recruitment surge. Yep. All right, Iran, breaking news. Let's see if they've got any media out there. What is this? Massive explosion in Ukraine. Yeah, that's too bad. So let's see if there's anything on Iran. This was from a couple days ago, but it says, okay, this is just an update. It says Iran has been struck by over 6,000 missiles. Its oil depots and major air bases are reportedly in ruins. July 31st is when this one was posted, but I remember seeing this video from a couple days ago. I think it took place during the last 2 weeks or so of strikes. So that could be that. And then, yeah, UAE launches airstrikes against Iran. UAE launches massive airstrikes inside Iran following rising regional threats. This was on July 23rd, though. But it is like worth us saying that, you know, UAE, Qatar, all these different places, they seem to be kind of now forming a bit of a coalition against Iran, which is very interesting. So a bit of a coalition happening. What is this? This has got to be AI. Yeah. Definitely seems AI-ish. It's pretty fun. Oh, they're burning that. Okay, that's good. Well, I thought they were like celebrating it for a second, but I mean, this is actually pretty good because this is showing that, you know, think about the women that are in Iran and what happens to women in Iran, you know, what they're subjected to over there. So the fact that there's some chanting and cheering against that, I think that makes a lot of sense. Just watch your finger there. Don't let the finger get burned. So Iran's foreign-facing leaders try to act like they're all, oh, look at us. We're so nice. We wear a suit. But then meanwhile, they're slaying their own people behind the scenes. So there's that. Yep, this is another strike in Iran. This is posted on July 31st, but I think it happened a little bit before. I don't think this is a recent strike. I think this probably happened over the last couple of weeks. But this says Iran has been struck by over 6,000 missiles. Its oil depots and major air bases are reportedly in ruins. Do you support President Trump's actions against Iran? So, yeah, lots going down there. Well, Iran's claiming they've... Oh, this is March 3rd. Interesting. This is kind of a cool graphic, though. Let's check this out. Yep, the waterway's so small, even the ships can't really fit through it. Strait of Hormuz. Oh, yeah, there we go. Showing them blocking an Israeli ship. Of course. I mean, okay, and this was just debunked as well. So this is what Iran wants to put out to the world. They want everybody to think that they're in control of everything, but we just saw debunked. The U.S. military has gotten 1,000 ships through. Now, it's not the same as it was, prior to the conflict kicking off, but it's still 1,000 ships over the last few months. Again, lower than it was before, but U.S. military has basically got the can opener open, and they're doing what they do. Is this a Patriot or a ballistic missile? Yeah. Well, we know that Iran's tried sneak attacks over the last few days. Sneak attacks, what they do. Okay, it says it's in Saudi Arabia. Aramco refinery was struck by drones on this is July 27th, causing a massive fire at the facility and east-west pumping station. NASA firm's satellite imagery confirms extensive fire activity at the site. Abqaiq, I think I'm saying that right, is the world's largest crude oil stabilization plant, processing 5 to 7% of global oil supply. Saudi Arabia has blamed Iran-backed resistance groups in Iraq for the attack, begun emergency flaring at multiple production sites, and says it reserves the right to respond. Yeah, well, that's what good mafia bosses do. What is this? A fight and clash broke out in the Kuwaiti parliament because the U.S. Well, they're saying it's because of something to do with the war. I mean, it's a stressful thing, you know? Kuwait's been attacked pretty hard. So, but without the U.S., Kuwait would have been under the control of Saddam Hussein. That would not have gone well for you guys. Or Iran. I'm sure Iran would love to take over Kuwait. They would love that. So, probably not the best idea for their longevity. Iran bombed. This says Iran bombed a bridge. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. That is crazy. The bridge has like a hill on it. Yeah, I never heard anything about this. Yeah, I don't know if I would trust this. Okay, this is fake. Yeah, because I never heard anything about the bridge being hit. I wouldn't trust it. Let's see what this is. Yep, that was Iran firing missiles just out of nowhere. So crazy. I mean, they might be getting their lesson with enough pounding. That pounding is the only thing that speaks to them. They might be getting their lesson. I thought it was going to be a fighter jet. Yep, Iranian missiles. And I'm not sure about some of these are like pure AI slop. Let's see what this is. Yeah. That's pure AI slop. What is this one? Oh, this is the IRGC saying they captured Delta Force. Yeah, okay. Okay, Iran. Sure. Yeah. The propaganda wing is going strong. What is this? Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps. What? Man, AI these days, it's hard to tell what's actually real. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, this was, we haven't seen this video yet, but this was them forming human chains back in April. So Iran forming human chains. I mean, of course, the IRGC is going to make them all go out and do that, waving their flags. Oh, we're so patriotic. Don't mind the fact that the Ayatollah has been murdering thousands of us. No big deal. Okay, looks like, yeah, so we know that there was an area in Iraq that was struck. So we'll go to the imagery here in a second. I think that might be all the breaking stuff that we're going to get today. We covered the F-35. Let's see what this is. Ukraine faces these bombers. This is what the quote says. So these are like the B-1, basically, the Russian version of the B-1. Pretty strange, huh? How all of a sudden Russia and China, their jets seem to resemble exactly the same thing as the US. That's what happens in communism, folks. Not great things. They have no creativity. They can't sustain innovation. Innovation leaves the country. The government becomes in control of everything. So everything becomes big, bloated bureaucracy and doesn't really work as well as it could. But Obviously, Russia's been using this bomber quite a bit. I think it's called the White Swan bomber. It's like more of their nuclear fleet. So there's that one. What is this? Oh, this was on July 24th, the land bridge. So I don't think the land or the air bridge is as big right now from what I've heard, but we'll see. So that's just U.S. aircraft flying in and out of the Middle East. I'm going to check in on you guys on the stream, see how everybody's doing. Space Faith, Physics, PC, Golden Age, Texas Aviator. Yes, drifting is a lot of fun. Love it. Good times. So let's go to the imagery. We'll go to the target imagery after we just do one more just spin on here. Let's go military breaking news. What do we got? Saudi Arabia is supposedly preparing a large-scale military offensive against the Houthi movement in Yemen following recent attacks on Saudi oil infrastructure and the group's blockade of Saudi maritime shipping, according to The Guardian. Nice. So it looks like they're special operators. I bet those are some pretty badass dudes. The reported plans could include both naval operations in the Red Sea and a ground offensive into central Yemen, marking what could become one of the kingdom's largest military campaign in years. The reported preparations come after the Houthis' intensified attacks on Saudi energy facilities and expanded efforts to disrupt maritime traffic, further escalating tensions across one of the world's most strategically important waterways. If launched, the operation would represent a major escalation in the regional conflict. A coordinated Saudi land and naval campaign could significantly intensify fighting in Yemen while increasing pressure on the Houthis' military infrastructure and their ability to threaten Red Sea shipping lanes and Gulf energy facilities. So it is pretty wild to see how much Saudi is getting into the fight. I mean, they're getting in on a whole new level, but one of the main reasons is the Bandar al-Mandab Strait. And then this was after IRGC missile strikes on a U.S. base. The U.S. returned fire. So U.S. military retaliated by annihilating IRGC's main nerve center, the Sar Allah HQ in Tehran. The base is completely destroyed and currently engulfed in flames. So it's like an IRGC base getting demolished, as they do. Oh, dude, he got his neck stuck in the thing. Were they able to get him out? There you go. Oh, is he okay? Oh, he's good. Yes. Unable to leave the man who helped him. What? That's awesome. All right, let's not get too crazy. Let's not get too crazy with this one. Yeah, this is getting okay. It started out cool, and then when seeing the guy go in for the kiss like 2 or 3 times, I can't handle it. Like, the kiss, really? How about just the pets? You pet your pets. You don't kiss your pets. I mean, and this is a public service announcement. Everybody out there who like makes out with their dog and they think it's cute, it's not cute. Don't make out with your pets. Pet your pets. There's a reason. I think that this guy's the reason why they invented the name pet. So you pet your pets. Like, no making out with your swan, sir. This is the public service announcement from the Max Afterburner channel. We're here to help. We're here to help everybody. What is this? Ooh. It's a little blurry of a video, but cool video of that nuclear submarine, and a lot of those are being made. Okay, well, why don't we go to the imagery and we'll go to see if there's any super chats, if you guys have any questions. This looks like fake AI, I'm pretty sure. Targeting the IRGC's Khorsar Allah headquarters, the main command facility is reportedly burning down right now. Well, I don't know if it's burning down right now, but that is, I mean, if that is their main headquarters, it kind of looks like a real video, but it's hard to tell these days. I'm going to grab this just in case it is real and I need to make a video on it tomorrow. Wow. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the tall building is AI? Do you think it's real? it just seems weird to me that it's just one side of it that's on fire. Like what, like how is it just one side of the structure that's being blown up? You know, why isn't there like at least other parts of the building? So just seems kind of weird. Seems a little odd. Okay, let's do a poll. Come up with some video ideas for tomorrow. So I'm thinking, what video do you guys want to see tomorrow? Let's say, oh, there's a Q&A section too. That's kind of cool. But for now, we're going to do a poll. So we'll say IRGC HQ burning. That's one of them. If that is even real. We don't even know if that's real. So F-35B crash. And then add option. Why don't we do some Cuba stuff? Cuba invasion. I haven't looked into Cuba in a while. So there we go. The poll is up and it is ready for you all. So if you want to reply to the poll, tell me what video you want to see tomorrow. That would be great. And then we'll keep going. We'll go to the imagery now. Good old Derek's imagery, and we'll try to pop into Iraq on this one and just kind of see if what we saw in Iraq is actually, you know, some of the locations where these fights could be going down. That's what we'll tune in on. All right, here we go. Jumping to here. Boom. All right, here we are. Boom. I like the boom sound effect is so important. It's a big part of my live streams. Boom. Look at that. That's interesting. This is a pipeline, I think. So seeing like this big yellow circle. Oh, wait, that might be the Belt and Road Initiative from China. Yeah, because they built like a big road around Pakistan and Afghanistan. And one of the big pictures, the reasons why they did that. Here, let's just take a peek up here for a second. I noticed from my time flying in Afghanistan, there's a lot of minerals and mines up here in the north. So could we be looking at some mines? I'm sure. I mean, this just looks like a rare earth mineral, whatever that is right there. It looks like the edge of the earth. Whoa. So is it like a lake, I guess? Looks like a big mirror. It literally looks like a big, like emerald. But I'm assuming it's some kind of water. Yeah, Zaid Reservoir. Wow. Very exotic. Zaid Reservoir. Yeah, I don't remember flying many missions up near that. But the corner, oh, is that in Afghanistan? No, that's just outside the border. That's just in Turkmenistan. So that would be why I didn't fly any missions. Turkmenistan. Why can't Afghanistan get their act together like Turkmenistan? I mean, come on. Turkmenistan's a massive country, by the way. They're just kind of staying out of everything, aren't they? They're just like, we don't want anything to do with this war. So is Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is like, no, we're good. And that's Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan. Wow. Kyrgyzstan. Man, some pretty exotic countries over here. Interesting. Anybody ever been to any of those? Uzbekistan, Tajikistan? Let me know. All right, let's do a little bit of deep dives into what could be next. So you guys have asked me what targets could be next. So let's just have a look. Derek's found some different locations throughout the map. So let's just have a look at some things. Wonder what he found here. Maybe, oh, it's a tower. Okay. Oh, it's a communications tower. And are most of these, oh, these are all towers. Okay. Yep, so communication towers, dang, they have a lot of towers, just middle of nowhere. Let's see if we can see anything up close here, but yep, little road going to the tower. Dang, how is Derek finding all this? And some solar panels, it looks like. So a lot of these towers are going to be for military use as well. They're not going to be like, oh, no, these, sorry, IRGC, you can't use these. No, IRGC is going to take control of pretty much anything they want. So that's why you've got dual use on most of the systems inside of Afghanistan. And then air-to-ground weapons range, I think we looked at that one before. So that would be like bomber range for fighter jets, which they don't have a ton of those flying anymore. But drones, you know, they could do practice with drones and things like that. So that's their big focus. And then we got Yazd Rail Yard, Yazd Base Missile Facility. Let's see what this looks like. Looks like a bit of a smaller facility. I mean, at this point, we've looked at one up by Tabriz that's like so massive that everything else is just small in comparison. And remember, guys, it's not the size of the missile facility that matters. It's whether it can still launch missiles. Don't take that as a metaphor if you want, but the fact that Iran still has a lot of those missiles it's a real problem, right? All right, cool. So let's just take a peek around this little site. You guys love the imagery, so I want to give you your money's worth here to have a peek at the imagery itself. Again, you guys had a hard work day, probably just getting off work, just seeing some entertainment about the map, what's going on, what they have, what the equipment is, for entertainment purposes only. Remember, I have to say that. So Yazd Missile Base entrance gate right there. Yep, we got that. Make your way around. What do you got? Another bunker entrance. Let's see what this bunker entrance looks like. All right, Yazd Missile Base bunker entrance. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Awesome. Yazd Missile Base facility. There you go. Good looking facility for logistics. I would say this is their logistics hub. Looks like it's in good repair though. I don't see a lot of debris strewn everywhere. So that means, to me, that tells me this missile base is in full swing. Massive power lines making their way through. Yazd Missile Base facilities. Here's all the different bunkers. Yeah, so road going up to the bunker, bunker entrance, and a bunker. Surprise, surprise. What's the next one going to be? Oh, bunker entrance. And then we have a Toyota Hilux. There we go. Okay, now we officially know it's a terrorist site because there's a Toyota Hilux. So if there wasn't a Toyota Hilux, we might be like, oh, maybe Iran's turning it all around. And then a missile base bunker entrance over here. Yep, got it. Now let's pop to Iraq for a second. And let's just see kind of what we see. It'd be Eastern Iraq, Western Iran. Let's just have a peek to see maybe if we could get an idea of where some of those Saudi strikes went down the other day. So lots on the map. So sometimes it can be hard to read. Derek does his job too well sometimes. All right. Yep, IRGC striking in Iraq. Man, they're just like launching at all their neighbors. They're like, no, we're just going to launch at you and ask questions later. Yep, Iraq, Ramadi. Let's check this out. So it kind of makes it seem like it's along the border. There's Erbil. Let's see if we can see. Okay, here we go. So the border is right here. So this is the border. You can see IRGC drone strikes, FPV drone strikes. Yeah. Kalar, Ramadi. Wow. So if you look at the area, kind of where those militias could be operating, so something that you'll notice in different locations where there's terrorists that are operating is they don't want to be next to a big town, but they don't want zero town either. So in the mountains, a place where they can kind of like leave for a little bit, resupply, restock, probably cause mayhem on the townspeople, and then go back to the actual fight. Looks like a police station strike happened here on the border. Huh. In Avon. Huh. Man, it's pretty amazing how Derek finds all these strikes. That's awesome. Gav Savar. So they might as well have called that a Prius because it's the Gas Savar. They should have named the town Prius for sure. Ilam Petrochemical Company. Yeah, it just looks to me like this border is like a no man's land. The border of Iran and Iraq. Definitely a no man's land is kind of how I would attest to that. All right, let's get to some super chats. Texas Aviator in the house. Thank you, good sir. Appreciate the salute. Here's a salute right back at you. Thank you so much. G-Kind Industrial Machine says, feature the Warthog some more would be nice. Love that jet. Okay, good to know. Will do. Tommy Rad Band says, jets rock and roll straight up on tail. That's awesome, man. Yep, exactly. When you can set a fighter jet up on its tail, that's a winning day for sure. What are my thoughts on the F-47? This is from Texas Aviator. And when will it play a role? Replacing the F-22? Does it play a larger role in a family of systems? Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it does play a role, and I would say CCAs are probably some of the big things around it. So when you see Boeing releasing their CCAs, you know, all these different countries releasing their CCAs, what that tells us is the next fighter jets, even the current ones, but especially the next fighter jets, are going to be CCA quarterbacks. That's kind of the big thing to think about, is a CCA quarterback is going to be a jet that can have a network that talks to 15, 20 other jets all at once. So pretty epic that the F-47 will be able to do that. But yeah, if you think of the F-47 like the Tom Brady of fighter jets, that like you have someone up there in the cockpit who's like directing it, like touch sensor, like, okay, I want this to go here and do that, this go here and do that. So it's all like touch sensor oriented is the way I like to think about it. So that's what I would frame the F-47 as. Instead of just a fighter jet, I would say that it's basically a command node. Does that make sense? It's like a command center with wings is how I would attest to the F-47. So big picture though, F-47, the fact that it can team up with so many jets is huge. So teaming up with F-35s and F-22s, that's a big advantage for it as well. Let's see if we can see some CCAs. I want to see if there's any CCAs that we can just look at because you were asking about them. Texas Aviator, so we'll see if there are some that we can go look at. So let's see here. All right. CCA, we'll see if it actually comes up with a combat collaborative aircraft. Oh, nice. Yeah. Who's this guy?
Kamarádi, pojďte se mnou podívat, jak Filipa Turka vyprankoval do...
No, not who I thought. His voice definitely didn't match his body. YFQ-38A. This says Northrop Talon Blue. Oh, Talon Blue, it's not a bad name. Whose first flight is planned for next year, has also received an Air Force designator, YFQ. So Q, I believe, is unmanned. Yeah. Yeah. F would be fighter. Y would be experimental. So I think the Y is like experimental, fighter, unmanned. That's what the YFQ would mean. And then you could see all these different little jets sitting in the background. So it's kind of in like some sort of a boneyard where the testing's going down. But that is really advanced, like the next generation jet engine, CCA. And then this one of the coolest looking ones. Thank you, Andrew, for making it look cool. I mean, that's like just very appreciated that you did that. And it's got the AIM-120. The Air Force could bring up to 6 vendors into the early prototyping work of its second robotic wingman. But I'm all about the CCAs they get the job done, but they look really good at the same time. Okay? We got to make sure that they look good and they look strong by the pool. Nice. Look at this. CCA Agile Combat Employment Exercise, Creech Air Force Base, Nevada, July 28th. No way. That is super cool. I might do a video on that tomorrow. Wow. Anduril just looks awesome. Just a great looking jet. Very cool. Well, my friends, I think that does it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Texas Aviator, G-Kind Industrial, Tommy Radband. You guys are incredible. Thanks for the super thanks. This was a quick one. Here's the deal, though. I'm about to jump on Flying Fighter Jets with JT from Black Rifle Coffee, and we're going to live stream that as well, because why not, right? So that'll be live streaming, and we're probably going to fly somewhere around 1900 Mountain Standard Time. No, we haven't hit Pickaxe Mountain yet. As far as I know, nothing has hit Pickaxe Mountain, but that might be a good video for tomorrow as well. How would Pickaxe Mountain be struck? Maybe that's something that we do. So I'll definitely look into that. Let's see what the poll looks like. IRGC HQ burning. Okay, I'll look into that, and I'll see if I can see if that was real or not. Because I don't know. I'll talk to Diamond about it. We'll do some research. But it's pretty amazing how it was just that one side of the building that was burning. That was kind of weird. But hey, maybe they just hit it with like 5 different drones. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Have a great one, and do something good for yourself tonight if you can. 5 to 10, let's say a 10-minute walk. Eat something good. Do something good for your body. We care about your guys' health, and we're just grateful for you. So thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks, Diamond, for being a great producer. See ya.